PN Vijay said that he was inviting a bunch of all ex-IITians to the stage. I thought the going statement was once an IITian, always an IIT, and I think we all represent that. We have, I'm actually very delighted to be here, very honored to moderate this session. This session which Professor Nagarajan, as he pointed out, was variously billed as, if you walk around here at SAC, at ICSR, the various places and the program, the topic for this panel has been variously billed as global leadership for IITs, IITians, and global leadership, and global leadership of IITs in research, education, and innovation, and so on and so forth. And the important thing is that none of these various handles that have been given to this topic are orthogonal or are in conflict with each other. In fact, if you look at the nexus of all the various title depictions that have gone on, they really point to one thing, which is a central theme of this topic, which Professor Nagarajan explained very well, which is really looking at what will it take for the IITs to exert global leadership in research, in education and innovation. Now, we've heard several presentations the last 2 days where India's leadership, India's prominent role in the in the global economy has been asserted. And it's very clear through those presentations and through the work that we're all aware of, that the IITs have a very important catalytic role in establishing that India's key role. And so the topic of this panel and the comments that that we'll hear from this illustrious group that we have assembled over here are really to, in some sense, examine the readiness. And what I'm hoping that the panelists will do, what I'm sure that the panelists will do, will share their vast experience, their knowledge to inform the IIT strategy so that we could actually learn from their experiences, from the experience of their institutions or from their journey in life, what it might take to enhance the IIT's readiness to be indeed a leader in the global in the global economy. Very quickly to our panelists, we have what I like to say is a very illustrious vector over here, characterized, and I say vector because it's characterized by substantial depth. We have people with great skills, competencies, expertise, and knowledge. But as Nagaraj and I were discussing earlier, this panel actually is quite diverse in its composition. We have actually representatives over here from the US, Rajiv Grover, from Switzerland, Professor Pramod Rastogi, and of course, Professor Prasad from India. So we will actually have a wonderful intersections of continental opinions, if you will, that will inform this topic. Now, the topic of the panel is indeed a weighty one, global leadership of IITs in research, education, innovation. What will it take? What I've asked the panelists in our prior conversations in preparing for this session, I've asked them to think about is, look, we really have to address the readiness, and perhaps a good place to start is to understand what are the significant influences and grand challenges that are shaping the education research agenda at your institutions. And then, based on that, be able to come down to addressing what might be the implications for the IITs, and like I said, India's readiness for global leadership. Now, we know that when we talk about grand challenges and when we talk about leadership in this domain and education research, there are a whole bunch of initiatives. There are a whole bunch of topics, subtopics, if you will, that spring up. The domain covers everything from what might be initiatives to promote research in engineering disciplines such as that really enhance our global participation, such as well-funded PhD programs. How do you have effective symbiosis between institutions and industry? How might we productively, and this is a favorite question of mine, how might we productively bridge the education and research missions of our institutions, and something that is quite relevant to today's context, which has to do with globalization and the growth of the knowledge-based economy, essentially to the flatness and fortunes, even if those fortunes are suspect in today, given the kinds of news that we hear nowadays, do the flatness and fortunes shed new light or offer new opportunities and challenges for education and research? So there's a variety of topics over here. These are some topics that come to mind, subtopics that come to mind, but I am going to invite the panelists to talk, reflect on their experiences, bring their particular focuses to bear on the question at hand.